Hello, Bob Kelly, Director of Product Management here at Flexera, to talk to you about our introduction of patch automation for SVM. So I'm here to announce automation support for patching, and this is something we've consistently heard demand for quite some time. So I'm very excited to announce it, but why is it so important? What is this challenge that we can't seem to keep up with? It's basically the sheer number of application requests that our IT pros have to deal with. There are new security updates on a regular basis, new application requests, new functional releases, and Windows migrations to Windows 10 or just the next version of Windows 10. There are just constant requests for more applications. Some are critical, some are nice to have, some sit in a backlog and will never get done because there's just too much. The result is only about 1 in 10 patches get deployed. If you just look at these 10 applications and think, we're getting one done, that alone seems like we could do better than that. And automation certainly can help you do better than that. But why 1 in 10? It comes down to the number of applications. At scale, we're talking about a huge number of applications because most organizations I speak with have about 5,000 applications in their portfolio. That can vary for smaller companies and be much larger for even larger companies. But on average, 4, 5, 6,000 is pretty typical. And 10% of that is a pretty significant amount of work. And you're not going to get 10 new hires to do more. You have to do what you can with what you have. And if only 10% are getting done, is that enough? Is that keeping you safe? On the surface, you'd think no. But here I am talking about patch automation. So you probably expect me to say that with our new automation capability, you can do even more. And you can. And that's important. But with effective prioritization, 10% can actually be enough. How to effectively prioritize is key. And SVM gives you the insights and the valuable research against your application portfolio so that you can make the right decisions. This first element of the Venn diagram is prevalence. And if you don't have anything else to go on, this is typically what people do. They'll focus on applications like Mozilla, like Adobe, like Java, things that are on all the systems in the environment because creating that patch and getting that patch out the door benefits the most people in your environment. And if that's all the data you have to go on, then that's good. With SVM, you obviously have more, but it's still a key element of consideration. The next one is asset sensitivity. Some patches address vulnerabilities that are sensitive under certain conditions. If you have a server room with no internet connectivity that's locked down, you don't have to worry about a man-in-the-middle attack. If, on the other hand, you have notebooks by executives that are traveling to dangerous areas of the world, those are more susceptible to attack for sure. So you can't just look at the prevalence. You also have to consider the sensitivity of any given asset. Some vulnerabilities identified will exist only on a subset of your applications, and the criticality of those devices is very impactful to how you decide to prioritize what software to patch. With a basic security scanner, you might be getting some software vulnerability coverage with the CVSS scores that come from MBD, and that would be a good start for someone who doesn't have something like SVM. SVM is rescoring vulnerabilities against a consistent, methodical approach and getting rid of junk and things that you really don't need to worry about so that you have less to focus on and better quality data on which to focus. But with criticality alone, people will typically say anything with a CVSS score of 7 or higher is critical, and so that's my top priority. And again, without better information, that is a pretty logical approach. But you should still be considering sensitivity of the assets that have these critical vulnerabilities, and of course, prevalence of how many devices the software to be patched would benefit. But finally, the new and most valuable set of information in this Venn diagram is threat intelligence. This allows you to prioritize based on what vulnerabilities are actually being exploited. So criticality alone is a what-if scenario. Threat intelligence is actually telling you which applications are actually getting exploited. And so even something of low or medium criticality could be your top priority if you're aware of the fact that it is actively being exploited. But it is a combination of all these things that allow you to really assess your environment and prioritize effectively. Combining some or all of these elements to effectively prioritize can help you reduce the volume of patches that you need to deploy and thus make the task of patching more manageable. But how much can you patch is directly related to how fast you can get that work done. So automation is a popular topic. Everybody likes the idea of automation to get more done. In this case, we're talking about helping you get a job done faster, not making it a hands-off operation. And I'll get more into that. But why the need to automate patching? And is automating patching a good idea? The problem is we now have more patches than you can wave a stick at. You now have too many patches. So effectively prioritizing those patches becomes very important. And then working through those patches that you do prioritize is equally important. The first of two automation concerns that I hear is that automating my work reduces the value of my position, or I don't want to automate myself out of a job. This is not the intent, and it is not possible. SVM will help speed the time to resolution and allow you to do more in less time, but we are not automating everything. Any product that tells you that their goal is to automate everything is going to fail. Our intent is realistic. We're suggesting that you automate the routine so that you can focus on the more complex. If you're a packager, if you're somebody who scripts installations to work properly in your environment and solves each of these application deployments like a fun puzzle, we're talking about taking the easy puzzles out of the way and letting you focus on the fun ones. The second is that if you automate a bad patch, you're going to break systems. And there is no doubt of that. We are not suggesting that you automate hands-off. Automation is not intended to directly update production devices. Automation should be just to the point of updating pilot systems so that you can validate they work as expected, don't have a negative effect on your endpoints, and don't interfere with other applications in your functional testing. Deployment automation onto production is something that can be achieved with ADRs, or automated deployment rules, in SCCM. There, you can dictate when a new patch becomes available, deploy it to these pilot systems automatically. And then, if you don't stop it and so many days go by, deploy it to the first ring of deployment systems or target systems that you wish to address, and then the second ring and the third ring until it's gone out to all, with opportunities for you to stop at any point along the way. But we're not suggesting that you should hands-off automatically update all the applications in your environment. There could be some that you decide that's okay, but I would be very selective. So what we're talking about is intelligent automation. We're just announcing that you can automate in order to do more with less, but that you can do so in a controlled manner that aligns with your manual processes. So just the way that you would prioritize manually and decide which applications do I want to patch and get out the door, you can configure the new SVM automation capability to do the same. So this is a little shot at what it looks like. It's very simple. You right-click on any template or patch, and then you say, I want to subscribe to it. You can choose to always publish a new patch when a new version is available. And as I said, if there are some applications that you are very comfortable with, like say Adobe Reader or Google Chrome, are applications that you've deployed the last 50 updates each and have never had a problem or conflict or issue, then maybe you have a comfort level that says, I'm going to go ahead and just keep up with those. But we're suggesting that in most cases, what you want to do is leverage the same threshold measurements that you do when you're deciding manually what to do. Over time, you can decide to decrease that because you realize you can get more done with automation, and therefore you can address things at a slightly lower criticality or a lower CVSS score or a lower threat score. But you do want to control and throttle what it is you're automating because there is still that pilot functional testing step that needs to be done. And then finally, when you are actually configuring a patch for automation, you can choose to run it right now or to wait until the next time a new version is made available. This is available right now. The best way to appreciate something is to give it a try, so please do so today. If you have Software Vulnerability Manager in the cloud, you have this available to you right now for both SPS patches and vendor patch module patches. Same goes for on-prem, but you do need to update to the latest version, yet it is available. So please take the time to try this out. I think you're really going to love it.